Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, June 7th, 2025. And I posted on the main page 2 posts of text messages that I received today. I've also received threatening messages from Gary Colman. You know, the meme Gary Colman, you know, the actor Gary Colman is using impostoring. It's an imposter of Gary Colman. It's not Gary Colman, but he's using the name Gary Colman and then changing the numbers after his name. So it's Gary Colman hyphen N as in Nancy 1 M, and then Gary Colman hyphen a G 2 W. And there have been a half a dozen of these messages, threatening messages. Oh, the wasp is just the start of it. This and that and the other thing. All these threatening messages. And also threatening about the chickens. Keep an eye on your chickens, etc. People are leaving comments that they're, you know, these are Satanists. They sacrifice animals. They are despicable, inhuman psychopaths. And then the loser keeps saying, keep it up. Keep what up? Keep what the fuck up? Keep what up? Exposing you fuckers? I ain't ever gonna stop. Every time you post a message, a threatening message, you're reported to YouTube. And eventually you'll disappear just like the Gorilla Boy a year and a half ago. Because I don't stop either. And guys, these losers, show your faces, losers. Oh, you're probably just a bot with programmed messages. These are threatening messages from the Fusion Center operatives that lives next door to my neighbor. Or how about the vacant house down there? I'm here 6 years. Now actually more than 6 years. I'm here 6 years. I've never met the person that lives over there in that house. Never. There's no sign of life next door. So it's probably, maybe that's where their energy weapons are. Who knows? Maybe that's where the harassment is coming from. So I hope everybody's doing well on this Saturday. We'll have the live chat later this evening. And we had a lot of rain overnight, actually more than I anticipated. I thought it was just going to be a little bit of rain, but it's like really soaking wet. You want to say hello? Say hi. Say hello. Yeah. So somebody warned me that they may have another planned dog attack. Well, that's okay. I've got my dog repellent handy. You know, that spray. After the last time that happened, I bought half a box of dog spray. So anyway, this is what's happening here. This is what the slop mess. This is the slop mess from Judge Gabbard. He created this with his workers. And you see, this is now only about 10 months old. And I'm going to show you how it turned out. So what he did, instead of putting porous rock, he poured solid concrete. He didn't even do a good job of it. So the solid concrete, you know, when it rains, it's not porous the way rock is, so it's not sifting the water through the rock. It's funneling it, it's shoveling it onto the rest of the property. So it's created right here a significant depression. Right here. And you can see that the water is going underneath it. As I predicted, you know, I'm really good about predicting this stuff. Not that I'm a civil engineer or anything, but it's just obvious to intelligent people who have owned property before that was going to happen. So yeah, so you've got water going underneath the concrete, water going under it. lifting it up. It will eventually crack. And by the way, for those who are interested, and you see what they've done here to the property. Here, look. Right here. That was a young man. So this is what they did here. They deliberately are creating a problem here. Now, normally you would be able to walk out on my property further, but what they are doing, they're reducing the land surface by whittling away at the stream bank here. So this is obvious what they've done here. Obvious here. Because wherever you don't see foliage, because there's massive foliage here, and rock, that's what they've done. So this is what Judge Gabbard authorized. But hey, you know, they can't pass an audit in 6 years. They have not passed an audit in 6 years that I'm living here. Not the fiscal court, not the county clerk, not the judge's office, not the sheriff's office. Nobody has passed an audit here. Nobody knows how to keep books around here. I think they need to go back and take a couple of accounting 101 courses. So this is the way it looks here. And I'm going to open the gate here, because I'm expecting a delivery today. And in fact, maybe I won't open the gate yet. Maybe I'll just keep it partially closed so that it'll be easier for me to open when Federal Express gets here. But anyway, so yeah, so I wanted to say this morning, this is for documentation purposes, evidentiary purposes. On June 3rd, I received a text message from Texas and YouTube, area code 281-603-8877. And then I actually received a text message, a phone call from Carolyn. This is a hang-up phone call, and if you search on my channel for messages from Carolyn, this has actually been going on for years. I believe Carolyn is from the Ella camp, if you get my drift. She's from the Ella camp. Yeah, and she's still on it because she's a very immature little weenie girl. Yeah, so that was a hang-up call on Wednesday, June 4th. And then I found a whole bunch of bitchcraft nesting materials and stuff on the property. On Thursday the 5th, I received 2 threatening text messages. The mini split hose was on the ground. And I was hit at the top of my head in my kitchen at 5:31 p.m. That was with a directed energy weapon, some device. Prank phone calls on Friday the 6th, area code 209-519-6583 at 4:54 p.m. Then 210-986-9881 at 12:22 p.m. These were text messages. Today, Saturday the 7th, at 7:46 a.m., a threatening text message about the chickens. And then at 10:41 a.m., from area code 346-415-1859 about semen. And then after that, there's a text message from 346-796-7252 that says okay. It's as if the 10:41 a.m. text message is communicating with somebody else that says okay. Then at 9:18 a.m., Gary Colman -N1M is talking about the wasp. Oh, that it's going to get worse than that. And then another threatening message from Gary Colman -G2W. So now both of those messages from Gary were reported as harassment messages and blocked from YouTube. So that's the same vehicle with a different person in it. That's weird. It's the same vehicle with a different person in it. That person had blonde hair. It looked like a guy with sort of ruffled hair, blondish. But the other person that went in the other direction was a different person. Maybe they swapped vehicles. Either way, I didn't recognize either one of them. They could just be the cyber stalkers of the day. But anyway, hope everybody's doing well today. Oh, I see a branch on the floor here. On the ground. Somebody corrected me. It's like, why are you calling it the floor when it's the ground? There's a floor in the ground. This is the floor and the ground. The ground has dirt and all this stuff, and I guess the floor is like the floor inside of a house, of your apartment. So what do you think, Guinea? So yes. So we'll keep the gate closed until Federal Express honks the horn. We'll make it to the door quickly. So anyway, I have a couple of things that I wanted to talk about later and possibly in the chat this evening. I wanted to also talk about, on the community page, I posted an affirmation about destiny theft, destiny stealing. Because that's what these criminals do. They distract us from our regular lives, like with all these threatening text messages, which are usually, I'm going to say they're probably written by a bunch of incels, those little techo groundhog boys that live in their mommy's basement, haven't had sex ever in their lives, complain that nobody wants to date them. I can't imagine why. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway, so those are probably incels with their little technology hacking group. They form their little technology hacking cyber stalking group, and they get off on texting senior citizens. I mean, talk about losers. I mean, is that like really loser material? So anyway, hope everybody's doing well today. I just picked up a branch that fell down. There were branches that fell all over here. Not big branches, little branches. Bitchcraft kind of branches, where they're kind of connecting in a circular pattern. So I've got a low battery light. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to sign off for now.